Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm in the backyard. Today I'm gonna show you how I deadhead my roses. There's a lot of video on YouTube showing you guys how to do it, but I'm gonna show you my own way. So I think I saw some mosquitoes flying around here, so I try to do it quick. Anyway, so this is a Spanish bloom. You can see that this variety is called Mitsuko. Very pretty bloom, right? And you see the Spanish bloom here doesn't look good on the bush, so I try to deadhead them, saying that I'm trying to, but a lot of them I haven't done so, or I haven't really finished. Deadhead though, this flash. Anyway, so over here, I think this one is hybrid T-Rome. So over here, you can see this stem is quite long. I think maybe 60 centimeter length. Normally, I try to cut like 2/3 of the length of the stem off, and I try to choose the next, the leaf node that is facing outward. I don't want the next set of leaf or the shoot like facing in the center of the bush. Example, this one, if I just cut above it, so in the future, this node over here going facing that way, so we're not going to the center of the bush. So I normally, as I say, I cut 2/3 of the length off, or I cut half of the length off. The reason why I'm not cut down like just below the flower over here, because I do want like the next stem, like after I cut it, it could still produce nice and strong, and also I want it to have big blooms as well. Because if you just cut below this flower over here, example, and the next shoot or the next shoot, it will produce quite short, maybe I don't know, maybe about 20 centimeter length, and the shoot will be quite small and flimsy as well. Example, you can see this variety is called Perfume de Paris. Now this one, it finished blooming a few weeks ago. I did not deadhead it, or that means that hard. I cut it just very short because I want to harden the stem off, because I want to use the stem to try to grow them from the cutting. So I just cut deadhead the blooms just below the Spanish bloom. So you can see the next shoot over here is very short. Example, this one. This one is produced the flower, but it's up here already. But this one is just around 15 centimeter length. It's very short. It's hardly to use to cut flower. You can see, but I have a very lovely, strong and sturdy stem over here. I can use for the cutting later on. So that is the reason why I kept them long like that. But normally I would cut like 2/3 of the length off, or half of the length off. So the next stem, when it's produced, I would have still like stronger and you can have a strong and long stem for cut flower as well. It depends on the variety. Example, folly bundle, then they might not as good for cut flower. But again, if you just cut like just below the below the Spanish bloom, and then your next flower could be very, very short. It have very short stem. I hope you understand. Example this one. So I talked earlier, I gonna cut it high, 2/3 of the stem down, and the bud is facing out. And I'm not counting for the leaves that they have 5 leaves or anything. A lot of people saying that, but I'm not doing that. I'm trying to look for that the length of the stem, because for me, example, some of the stem it have 5 leaves but still look very, very flimsy, and some of the big stem, but even they have only 3 leaves, but they still look very good and sturdy. So it depends if you want to have a sturdy stem and long stem for cut flower. Example, this bloom over here, this stem over here, you can see quite long. This one maybe, I don't know, 50 centimeter length, and I want the next buds facing out, this one as well. So I can just cut, example, 2/3 of this one off. You can see that. So the next shoot will facing in this way, and I got this length left over here. So in the future, this one still produce very strong and sturdy stem, and also I will have a big flower like this one as well. And I hope that makes sense. So these are for hybrid tea rose. How about short rose like David Austin? Okay, so David Austin rose, example, this one is called roll down. I cut this quite hard because, as I mentioned, if I should cut like below, or if I should cut my just below the span bloom, and then it will produce very short stem, and also it produce less flower for you as well, and also it's the bloom will be smaller too. Example, you can see this is the roll down, but I cut it down very hard. It will take longer for them to push out the bloom though, but I'm normally okay with that. You can see I cut quite hard all the way down here. You can see that it took a while. I can't remember how many weeks. Okay, over here I got this variety. It's called Fiesta Stone, and I got few spans bloom over here, and I do want to deadhead them. Example, you can see this one is floribundos, by the way. This one, you can see this stem here around 40 centimeter length. Now I still have another bud over here, but I will sacrifice it to demonstrate to you. So I want the next set of the stem to get facing out that way, because I don't want to go, the next stem will go into the center of the plant. And I want to find the leaves area that have a quite sturdy stem as well. I don't want to cut just below this span bloom. Example, we say this is span bloom. If I just cut down here, and the next shoot will produce quite short and flimsy as well, and you have a small bloom, and I want to cut it down a little bit further down this way. So this could be like a half of the length of the stem. Actually, I cut it down. Okay, and this one a little bit flimsy. This variety though, I could tell you that the stem often grow very flimsy, so I try to shape it, For example, this rose bush, this one is called Delightful Parfuma. Now this variety often produce quite long stem because I often cut it down quite a lot. You can see some of stem over here. I cut them down the other day, but before they were this tall too. Anyway, so I cut like 2/3 down. And example, this span bloom over here, I'm chewing the leaves, and they got a node, leaf node facing a different way, not in the center. So I gotta cut 2/3 of the length of it as well. You can see. So I cut like that. So you can see now we at the end of the season now, and the blooms still look still have good size, and I still have very lovely, strong, sturdy stems. They don't look weak. Example, this span bloom here, it kind of span bloom, but I'm gonna cut it for you to show you. Example, this one I'm gonna cut 2/3 of it as well. So in the future, when this one produce again, and it will produce quite long stem for me as well. And I'm normally not fussing about cutting an angle or in a stretch cut. I just want to make sure the sucker tier is very sharp, because the main thing, I just want the clean cut and the wound can heal quickly. This one I cut the stem maybe just half of it down, and you can see after a few weeks it produced very long stem for me already. And you can see this one as well. This variety is called the wedding rose. It has beautiful white color. I think some of span bloom can finish over here. Let me show you. You see like that? Example, I can show you this one as well. So this one, I'm gonna cut a half of it, one off too. You can see? Oh, it's very thorny. The thorn poking all over me. You see this length. Even I cut a half of it, but I still have very good length, or like to put in the vase, and still a half of the stem left there. For it to produce more flower later on. Anyway, that is for the video today. I hope that you find this video helpful. And of course, people have different ways for deadheading, but for me, I prefer to cut the stem a little bit further down. And even though, if I just cut it just below you know, the span plume will produce a flower quicker, but you can have a very short stem after that, and then the bloom might could be very flimsy and much smaller as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely evening and see you next video. Bye bye.